little Beyonce to get the lesson started today. I won't have today in science or math history because I won't have access to this at the time I'm recording. However, I will be able to tell you a joke, which is, son says to his father, "Dad, I have to go to a party tonight. Can you do my math homework for me?" The dad says, "No, I'm sorry, son, that just wouldn't be right." The son says, "Well, that's all right. Can you do it anyways?" Pause for laughter. All right, today we're going to talk about the next way that we're going to start exploring the interior of a triangle with perpendicular and angle bisectors. This won't lead directly into what we're doing with the triangle today, but it builds up to Monday's lesson, which will deal with perpendicular bisectors of the sides of the triangle and the angle bisectors of the triangle. So, start here with a little review. Complete each statement with bisector or bisects. Now, if you want to pause this and fill this out for yourself and see if you know, and then you can check off my answers, you're more than welcome to. BD is the bisector of angle ABC. BD bisects angle ABC. Now again, T for true, F for false. If you want to pause it and fill these out for yourself, you can. Two perpendicular segments intersect to form four right angles. That is true. Yes, ma'am, I will. Now, the way that works is this. If you have two of them and they meet at one right angle, well, then this one over here is right because it's a linear pair. This one over here is right because it's vertical, and you can use some of that same reasoning for this one. Back in chapter 2, we didn't cover it. There was a theorem that said if two lines meet at a right angle, all the angles are right angles. Okay, you can draw more than one line perpendicular to a given line through a point not on the line. Well, let's take a look at that. Here's our line. Here's our point not on the line. How many lines can we draw down here that will be perpendicular? Well, if I draw that one that's perpendicular, I think I can reason that any other line I draw then by definition will not be perpendicular, or otherwise have to be right on top of there. So you can draw more than one. That is false. All right, here's our vocabulary. Equidistant. You can see how that breaks apart. Equal for equal distance. Equidistant means at an equal distance from a single point or object. Okay, you can see these 2 points right here would be equidistant from the center point, which makes it a midpoint, actually. All right, on the number line at the right. Again, if you'd like to pause, try this for yourself, and then check against my work, you're more than welcome to. Circle 2 points that are equidistant from 0. B and C are equidistant from 0. That's one away, and that's one away. Name points that are equidistant from point C. Well, let's see. 1, 2. Point D is 2 away, and that's 2 away. So I'll say B and D both are 2 away. Going to the diagram on the right. Use the diagram on the right for exercises 7 and 8. Circle 2 points that are equidistant from point Q. Well, let's see. That one is 4 away, and I don't know how far away these are without using my distance formula, but let's see, over 2, down 2, I would say this one and this one. So we've got P and R. Name 4 segments that are equidistant from the origin. PQ, and again, you could call that QP, that's fine. QR, RS, and SP. There's 4 segments that are equidistant from the origin. Here we are, theorem 5.2. Of course, you won't be quizzed on the number. You just need to be able to apply this. The perpendicular bisector theorem. If a point is on the perpendicular bisector of a segment, then it is equidistant from the endpoints of the segment. Use the diagrams below to complete the hypothesis and the conclusion. Oh, I lost my cursor. All right, there it is. So here we have segment AB. It's got perpendicular bisector PM, and you can tell by these little marks right here that AM, this piece right here, has to equal this piece over here, which we'll call MB. The length of AM and the length of MB have to be the same. And if all the stuff over on the left is true, then this segment up here with the 2 marks, segment PA, has got to equal this segment with the 2 marks, segment PB. So since P, point P right here, is on the perpendicular bisector, it is equidistant from the ends of that segment. All right. Now the converse. If a point is equidistant from the endpoints of a segment, then it is on the perpendicular bisector. Complete the diagram on the right. Well, okay, here. Point P is equidistant from RT. That means it has to be on the perpendicular. That makes it perpendicular. And when I put the 2 marks here and here, that shows that RT has been bisected. Keep thinking I need to give you a minute to catch up, but you can pause the video. All right, hold on. I'm going to move over a little bit. Now, this is how a lot of the problems will look for the problems from this section. There'll be some simple multi-step algebra problems you'll have to solve once you figure out which things are going to be equal to each other or if they need to add up to something. I will warn you, watch for when it asks for this entire thing right here. A lot of people are going to give this half, but it's got to be both if they ask for PR, so we'll pay attention to that as we do these. Use the diagram at the right. What is the length of QR? Well, let's see. What have we got going on here? QS is the perpendicular bisector. Yes, it is, because it's perpendicular, and these little marks right here mean that PR has been bisected. So we know Q is equidistant from P and R. So PQ, this piece, has to be the same length as that piece. PQ equals QR. So if PQ is 3n minus 1, QR is 5n minus 7. Okay, well, we need to solve for n. I don't like the way they do it. I'm going to work it myself over here. I like to cancel the smaller variable first. Minus 3n minus 3n. Well, if negative 1 equals 2n minus 7. Remember, whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. Divide by 2. N is 3. Well, let's put it back in there real quick. 3 times 3 is 9 minus 1 is 8. 5 times 3 is 15 minus 7 is 8. Okay, I like that. All right, 5 times 3 minus 7 equals 8, because remember, we're always going to look back. What was it asking for? The length of QR. It was not asking for n. That's one step on the way to the solution. All right, so if you need to hear that again or follow that algebra again, I went through it kind of quickly, you can back the video up and watch it. All right, using a perpendicular bisector. All right, we have, it looks like an amusement park. Okay, there's some sort of rocket ship, a merry-go-round, some paddle boats, and a roller coaster. It says the director of the park wants a t-shirt stand built equidistant from the spaceship chute and the roller coaster. Well, let's see. It looks to me it could be anywhere along line L. L is the perpendicular bisector. It's perpendicular, and these tell me that it bisects the direct path between the roller coaster and the spaceship shot. So, well, where could it be? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to back that up. The park director wants the t-shirt stand to be equidistant from the paddle boats and the spaceship chute. What are the possible locations? Well, then first we need to connect the paddle boat and the spaceship chute. You can forget about that stuff I was saying about this one. I don't know what that stuff is there, maybe to distract us. Now, what would be places that are equidistant between the paddle boat and the spaceship chute? Now that I'm on the right page here, on the diagram, draw PS. Okay, I did that. Sketch the point that are equidistant from the paddle boats and the spaceship chute. Describe these points. Well, anywhere along the perpendicular bisector, if I place that line such that these two are equal, so that it's in the middle of P and S, and it's perpendicular, anywhere right here down the whole length of this line would be equidistant between the paddle boats and the spaceship chute. So any point on the red line. Can I place the t-shirt stand so it is equidistant from the paddle boats, the spaceship chute, and the roller coaster? I think, let's see, let's look at this. Does our line intersect the other line, which is halfway between the roller coaster and the spaceship chute? Yes, it does, or it does, comes very close anyways. I didn't really measure that. Where should the t-shirt stand be placed so it's equidistant from the paddle boat, spaceship chute, and the roller coaster? Well, I like that spot right there. I would say, let's name our line. We'll name this line right here M, and then we'll call this spot the intersection of line M and line L. Let's put a little color on there to really send it home here. Right there. That looks like the ideal location. And let's see, let's explain that. All points on line M are equidistant, and they're equidistant from the paddle boats to the chute. All the points on line L are equidistant from R to S. So all the points on line L